Hello followers and welcome back to MrMFretwell Plays Minecraft, and in today's episode we are finally going to build the lab. So it's a brand new day here in my LP world, just past the night, and just before we came on camera I actually worked on laying out some markers for the lab. So as you can see, we've started out over here, and leave me alone, I don't want to deal with you right now. I'm trying to explain. I want another one. Ugh, jeez, this place is dangerous at night, I tell you. So we start off in this corner right here. This is going to be sort of like a corner, and we flow through, and this is where our entrance is going to be. We're then going to go down here and have sort of like another section right here. We're going to go out and then round and then back over here to where this torch is, and then we go here and around the edge and up, and then we're going to go around here and through here, across and up somewhere. I think we took a wrong turn somewhere apparently. So we go in here, then we go to here, and then we go to here, and then up here, and from here we then... Where do we go from here? It's very hard to follow these markers at the moment. I think from here it's actually just over this hill and to this torch, and then we are back where we started, down here. So you may notice that this is kind of difficult for me to read at the moment, and you will also notice that this place is absolutely full of trees and tall ferns and poppies and all this other stuff, and the terrain isn't very flat. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is actually take out all of the trees, get rid of all the shrubs and plants, and chop out the terrain. And I was going to say chop trees again, but I got good there. You'll never know apart from my big mouth. So the aim is going to be to reshape the terrain as well, and we'll also make the markers a bit more clear. And then after that we'll start on building the actual lab. So this is going to take a little while, honestly, so I think the first step is going to be to get rid of all the trees. So I'm going to get started on that, and I will be back. Okay guys, so after a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of shovel durability, I have completed the base for the lab. So here we are. This is the complete base. I've got some of these slabs in here marking out the edge, and I've reshaped a lot of the terrain to kind of match a little bit here so that it actually looks nice and it doesn't look horrible. I did clear out a lot of trees here that I didn't need to, so we may replant those later. Just take a look at the terrain around here, and here you can see we've got the completed terrain around here. So the next step to this is actually beginning to build it. Now I've gathered some of the supplies I need. As I was building the base, I kind of realized, I guess you could say it dawned on me, that I don't have anywhere near the amount of supplies. Now I did go on a quartz run recently, and I collected a bunch of quartz off camera before this clip, but the 3 stacks of blocks I have here is not going to be enough. I think we'll have enough clay. The stained glass I'm not sure, but the quartz I may be okay now, because I don't need too much quartz in this, mainly just for floors and things. The glass is obviously for windows, and the clay is going to be the main building block colour. So that's kind of that really. So that's all I did. I did do a little cave-in run, just cleared out a little area. I did find another dungeon, just a zombie dungeon, and that had some name tags and a couple of other little bits, but not too much, honestly. So not all that much has happened since we were last here. So let's kind of begin sort of putting together some things for this lab then. And while I do this, I do want to answer some questions about the world download. If memory serves correctly, the world download for last episode didn't happen. And the reason for that is because I am terrible and I forgot. Forgot to back up the world before this episode. So there will be a world download this episode, which isn't great, honestly, because I'm not too happy about the fact that I'm not too happy about the fact that I forgot, and this lab is now going to be half complete, which is a bit of a pain, if I'm absolutely honest. I am looking at a little bit of a reference image every now and then, so if I just pull up my inventory for no real reason, that's because I'm just taking a look at the reference image. So, this is something I built myself in a creative world. I did use a image off Google Images. I just looked around at what some labs might look like and kind of compiled this through a bunch of images. In case you were wondering, a fun little fact for you there. So why don't we just kind of kick things off here by making the clay parts, and I'm going to have to do a little bit of research through these source images as to how this is actually built, because it's quite difficult to remember. Now, if I remember correctly, we need 4 clay blocks there, and we also want one there in the corner. And we're going to have kind of like a little doorway here, I think. Now, this is not too bad. Things are movable. That's the thing. If it's a little bit wrong or a little bit out of place, then we can fix it. It's not too terrible. And I can obviously work on this off camera, but I want to get a basic layout with the clay, and we'll probably put in the first layer or so of glass as well before we end off this episode. We're not going to be working on this lab constantly. We are going to be varying things up a little bit, and I think next episode we will actually start with some redstone. Looking at my supplies, I think we may scout out a location to either start the central storage hub or the dark room. Next episode, I think, is what I want to do. We're going to kind of keep content mixed up so that it's not all on one project, but this is going to be a big project that we are going to go to over a period of time, because there is actually going to be building of the lab, and then we are going to fill the lab with stuff. So quite a lot to do in this project, honestly. It's not a small build. And of course we have this right here, which is going to form basically like our central pathway almost, and I'm just going to have to recraft any of the clay that I break, because I don't have a silk touch pick. Oh wait, I have a silk touch pick, but not a silk touch shovel, is what I meant to say. I think that that's going to be all the clay we need for the moment. Everything else is glass at this point, including that corner. We don't need any clay there, so now let's actually get some stained glass together. I've got a bunch of this black stained glass, which I really love using. Honestly, it looks, at least to me, it looks better than normal glass. So this is something I also anticipate that I'm going to run out of before we're done. But we do have a hook up to that mesa, and nearby that mesa is a desert, so when I take a run over there to collect a bunch of the hardened clay, I may actually also go and collect a bunch of sand, just to kind of fill up my ender chest with sand, because I'm not just going to need glass for this project. There's going to be lots of other things that need glass, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Now, what glass I do have, if I misplace it, I have got my silk... No, I don't have my silk touch, so I will have to run and get that if we misplace any, but I'm trying to avoid that here, honestly. So we'll probably do this and kind of get the glass all the way around if we can, and then I'll probably put in a floor and light it up. That's kind of what I'm thinking we need to do at the moment. Now, inside here is where my crafting, my smelting, and possibly so much of my brewing is going to be. So there's going to be quite a bit of stuff in here. There may be more stuff added. It's still kind of buzzing around in my head a little bit at the moment. I don't have too many ideas of what I want to do, but no doubt it will come to me over time. So we will just continue placing our glass here. And the reason that this is layered with cobble is actually because I ran out of dirt to do the landscaping with, so I tore the dirt out of the middle and then used that because I was actually that low on dirt. I don't think I have like a stack of dirt left now, so we are probably going to have to dig a quarry or something similar to that in order to just get the volumes of dirt that I actually need for this project. I'll just kind of wrap that around a little bit like that, but I am going to jump in the bed real quick. The idea by the end of this episode is just to have a basic structure / frame to work with that we can build upon in future episodes. And also kind of move everything that we have out here in there, just so that it's kind of out of the way and a little bit safer. So let's go over here and continue on with what we were doing. Now creepers are going to be a real threat with glass around, unfortunately, which is not great. If I find that creepers are becoming a prominent problem, then I will either light the area up or build a wall, something like that. We'll counter that if we find that they become a consistent problem. But I don't see any about at the moment, so I'm not going to worry too much. And I do have the levels to repair my shovel, I just haven't been down to the grinder yet to actually get access to the anvil. And we are out of stained glass, would you believe? So we're going to have to go grab some more. And yeah, I vastly underestimated the amount of stained glass I'm going to need. This base is going to be very over the top compared to how the fret fort was. It's going to be very over the top, as I say. It's going to be lots of expensive resources, lots of big funky projects to work with, and just generally lots of cool stuff going on, honestly, which is what I'm looking for here, because there's several things I don't have, and I've never even messed with some of this stuff, and I would like to get into it more. I am what I would consider a nomadic player, in a sense that I move around fairly frequently, but I also like a lot of different aspects to the game, particularly survival mode. I like redstone, I like building quite a bit, I like exploring, I like caving, so I like quite a lot of stuff, and I do more stuff than the others. Oh yes, that's right, I haven't done a video on this. Seeing my little stubby fist there actually reminded me of something. I've changed skin for Christmas. This is being recorded before Christmas, but I'm getting in the Christmas spirit as it is December now, and a very nice friend of mine, Mondo, actually designed me this Christmas skin. I've got a very nice sweater. I will be wearing this up until probably January 1st. Then I'll go back to the regular suit that I normally have, but if you see me around, then take a look at my very nice sweater. And if you see Mondo, he's actually in a blue sweater, so something to look out for there. I'll put my armor back on. I haven't done a video on that yet, so there you go. So thanks, Mondo, for the skin. Very, very nice. Very appreciate that a lot, I have to say. So we've got pretty much everything now kind of sorted out apart from this corner, so let's take a look at that corner and we'll see what we can do with that. I think it's just, according to my plan at least, just all glass pretty much. So let's just do this here. I think we may just about have enough glass to do 3 rows all the way around. So I'm going to have to go on a stained glass mission again, and also I'm going to need a ton of ink sacks again to actually finish this project off, which is going to be a little bit of a pain, honestly, because squids, they're a bit of a pain to hunt even with a looting sword, so we may have to build a squid farm just to get all the ink sacks I need. But we'll wait on that, and we'll see how things go. So we've got stained glass all the way around the edge now, which is great. So why don't we look now into adding in the floor. So the floor is going to be quartz. I like quartz for the floor, very smooth, very clean looking. So we'll just get all of our quartz here and craft it all into blocks. Oops, keep picking up those arrows for some reason. And this will not be enough quartz, but thankfully I did go on that quartz run in order to get more. But we'll see how far 3 stacks gets us, and then we'll kind of act on that accordingly. Alright, so I'm not on peaceful, am I? No, I'm just conscious that I actually haven't eaten any potatoes in a while. Been working on a lot of things in test worlds and whatnot lately, this project being one of them. So I've just got to keep that in mind a little bit when playing survival mode. Alright, I may set up a profile actually with just this world in so that I never mistake the difficulty. That might be a good idea, thinking about it. Honestly, I don't even think that we'll have enough quartz, even with all of that I mined, to floor this thing. And this building's going to have 2 floors. So when I go over the top, I go really over the top. But I can. It's doable in survival mode though. It's not like it's a creative only build. It's just going to take a lot of time to gather up all these resources. Particularly where I am in the Nether can be a bit of a hassle in order to collect quartz and glowstone easily. Because I'm in that middle of that lava lake. So we'll just have to keep that in mind a little bit. Did I use all 3 stacks? My goodness. That's really, really shocking, actually. I didn't leave any in here, did I? No. So I guess now we're going to build a mini quartz tower. That will be what we build in order to break down all of this quartz. So we'll just build a... why not? We'll build a sort of 8x8 maybe. I think an 8x8 will actually give me a stack or so per layer. Something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is not permanent. This is just a chunk to tear down all of the quartz quickly, that's all. Maybe I should go and repair my shovel, actually, so that I can make use of the XP that I'm going to get. So we're probably going to do that, too, before I cut down this quartz. But we can place it all down for the moment. Oh, no. I don't have my silk touch, either, so... that will have to remain in that way. All funny looking. Let's keep placing down all of this quartz until we have it all down. Have to go run and grab some ladders too when I head over there. So as I say, I'm not going to work on this all the time, as if I do, I will find that I'll probably get really burnt out and bored on it because of the sheer volume of resources and things that I need to actually use in order to build this. So next episode we'll vary it up and probably start on something else, and then we'll come back to this in a couple of episodes time or whatever. And I'll also probably just kind of tweak it, do little bits off camera, but nothing significant, because otherwise it's not really an LP then, is it? Because I'm doing large chunks off camera. So how much more quartz do we have? A lot. Alright, so I'll keep stacking up here. And I'll probably not actually show the cutting down of this quartz on camera, just because it's pretty painful to watch me tear down all of these blocks, honestly. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the camera here, continue stacking quartz, and I'm going to cut down all the quartz with my fortune pick, and I will be back to show you the result of that, and we will work on kind of wrapping up the lab here. Well, at least the floor of the lab. So, I'm also going to repair my shovel too, but nah, it's just me running to an anvil and putting a shovel next to another one. So, I'm going to go do all of those things, and I will be back with you guys shortly. have it, a total haul of quartz. Almost an entire inventory's worth collected. And this is not even remotely the amount that we actually need to finish this build, unbelievably. But let's pick these up and let's get to finishing this floor. And 5 stacks of quartz blocks later, we still are not even remotely close to finishing the first floor. We have maybe about just over a half complete of the floor. So I'm going to have to do a lot more quartz collecting at some point to finish this floor here, because we're not even remotely there yet, and I got a good probably 10 stacks or so of quartz in that run, but still not enough to finish the floor. I left this bit empty as we're going to have sort of like a clay road in here between the 2 zones, but all of this is going to be quartz, and there's going to be a second floor which is going to require the exact amount of quartz this is. So we're going to have a lot of work to do before this lab is anywhere near finished, unfortunately. But that's sometimes how it rolls if you want to build cool things. So I'm going to have to work off camera extensively on collecting everything we need for this project so that I can actually finish it. So I'll work on that between this and whenever we next work on the lab. And we'll look at the finished floor then. As I say, the world download will be going live this episode. It was meant to go live last episode, but it didn't for those reasons I explained earlier. But this episode, it will definitely be going live. Get out of here. There we go. And we will look into doing something new next episode, possibly looking into the darkroom and establishing the amount of supplies I need for that. But if not, then possibly we may work on this again. But I doubt it, honestly, because I don't think I will have enough supplies to actually have finished it by next episode. So we'll probably come back to this in a couple of episodes' time. But for now, I think we've done more than enough on sorting out and beginning the lab here. And I think that at this point it's enough for an episode, so I think we're going to call it here. I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, guys. I hope you like the way I'm designing the lab, and I hope to see you in the next episode. And until then, guys, see you later and have a good day.